I'm terrified of getting married again. And it's not for the reasons most people think. They're like, oh, he was hurt. No, that's not it. And I'm not afraid of the commitment thing. It's that I'm afraid of the literal tsunami of karma that my stepsisters will bring down upon the event. My family really enjoys a good prank. And growing up, like, I have this picture from Christmas of my mother like angry and throwing a box. And it's because I gave her this huge box, and inside it there was another box, and then another box, and then a box wrapped in duct tape, and then another box wrapped in wire. And she got down to like the 25th box and there was nothing in it. You know, it was all about the experience. But I love that photo. That was a memory, right? Because nobody ever talks about, hey, remember that time 20 years ago we got together and we went out for drinks and we had a drink? No. Everybody's like, remember that time we went out for drinks and we came back and you shat all over my bathroom? It's the things that are a little bit crazy that we remember. So we have this kind of prank culture in my family. And when two of my brothers were married, they both married women. They lived in other states. And so we meet this woman, we see her like maybe 1 or 2 days, and then they're marrying our brother. And we're like, wow, does she know what she's getting into with this family? So we felt obliged to bring some prank energy into it, and we weren't jerks. We didn't ruin the wedding. We didn't like trip her as she's going down the aisle or anything like that. We made it about something that happened after the reception even. We let the reception go off without a hitch. They had a beautiful day. And the first one, she got married in Georgia, and they were going to be driving for their honeymoon. And so we want to make sure they had a good honeymoon. So at the end of the reception, we went to the buffet and we took the tuna salad and we packed it into her hubcaps and put them on the car. Now, we laugh about that now. She wasn't so thrilled at the time, but now she laughs about it and then looks at me with this, like, someday. So my other brother got married, and he got married in Michigan in the winter, very different than Georgia in the summer. And so we couldn't do the tune in the hubcap thing. It wouldn't work, but we talked about it. And this was like around Y2K, and he was one of those people that had like 50-pound bags of beans and 50-pound bags of rice. Like, he was certain the end was coming. And they were very prepared, and they had this huge pantry. So we got his key away from him at the reception, and I told my dad, I said, you need to keep him here as long as you can. He said, okay. We got his key, and we went to his house, and we went through the pantry, and we removed the labels from every can of food in the pantry. And we're stuffing them in our pockets. And I later found out we had like just barely left, and my brother came to my dad and was like, hey, we're going to go. My dad says, oh, no, you should stay. No, we're going to go. Okay, have a good time. So he did a great job of keeping him there. So we're taking the last label off the can, and I hear this behind me, and I turn around, there's my brother. He holds out his hand, he says, key. So we give him the key, and we're walking out, and he sees all the cans. And so we get out into the driveway, and there's his wife with the dress that was like, he had a tiny, tiny car, and the dress was like the third, fourth, and fifth passenger in the car. Like, you know, the dress is up to here on her, and she's trying to extract herself from this tiny Yugo-esque vehicle. And we climb into my brother's car and just wave as we're pulling out of the driveway. And she finally gets out, and she turns to my brother, and we can hear him. She says, what did they do? Because she knew there was something. What did they do? And he turns, and he talks to her for a few minutes, and we knew she was really... Because until that point, she had been so nice and so proper. You know, we'd only known her for a couple days. She wanted to make a good impression. And we really felt she was part of the family when she turned to her and said, you! So we did this to make those events memorable, have a good time, have a good laugh. And she, too, today laughs with us. But there's that glint in her eye. And I know my turn's coming someday.